right. Wow. They must have changed something on the YouTube side of going live. I didn't mean to hit the go live right then and there, but hey, it is what it is. Let those notifications go out. All right, everybody. This is going to be a very quick message. All right. I just want to get up here. I don't know how long we are going to be on. I know I have the and more there, but I really let me give it a few minutes because this is part of the trauma healing. And even though we are healed emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, that is that mind, body, and spirit connection, okay? We are healed, yeah, have been for a long time. But we did not expect to be physically assaulted when I went in person to close a Jezebel case study. But it happened. Thankfully, very minor stuff, but with a lot of bruising. However, bruises are healing. Bruises heal. What I'm discovering that's most important is the muscle tension and just how deep it goes. Because I never realized this part. Now, I know that radio frequency poisoning is used to manipulate the autonomic nervous system, our ANS, which is the target, our inner child. All right, which is the target because the devil and these narcissists know that if they can traumatize your nervous system, the ANS specifically, that eventually you, as the human, are going to follow because our thoughts control the ANS. Let those notifications go out. Let me do a quick check real up here. I know that this is not going to resonate with everybody, but you got to understand how deep this goes. All right, and it's called muscle tension awareness. It's part of trauma healing. You know, I am a consultant, master consultant, coach, trauma specialist. I am a trauma specialist, trained and certified, qualified by God. Let me tell y'all something, that when it comes to that muscle tension, that is what the devil needs to keep people traumatized, keep those muscles so tense that you don't even realize you're using more force than you need to complete a daily task. Something so simple as writing on a piece of paper with a pen. Those muscles, the nerves that run all through your hands and your arms, it matters. We're going to talk about that because it's important to relax. Got to give your body the time and space it needs to heal. It matters. All right, everybody. I'm gonna tell y'all. Okay, so real quick for those who may not know, I am Michelle Dickey. Like I just said, I am Michelle Dickey, master consultant, coach, trauma specialist, minister, and author. I am up here helping you all overcome trauma, triggers, life obstacles, and also to unpack that bag of talent and gift that God put on the inside of you. Okay? In this growing community at Consulting for Heightened Awareness, the ministry that specializes in narcissistic abuse and trauma recovery with God's wisdom, basic scientific facts, tried and true techniques, and more. And this is so important for you to understand that muscle tension is real and how deep it goes. And it goes deep. All the way to your hand, to your fingers, if you are not aware. It's all part of that heightened awareness that God needs us to have in order for you to get fully healed. When you are fully healed, mentally, psychologically, okay, that's the same thing, okay, just say psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. Those three things right there, at that mind, body, and spirit connection. Once you're there, the only thing that the devil and narcissists have left to try to do is to traumatize your physical body. And the way they do it, unfortunately, is through physical assault. So, I'm going to bring you all the details. Okay, I talk a good bit about that Jezebel case study and what she did to me on the Patreon channel for a reason, because not everybody is going to understand how that happened to me. I didn't expect the worst. I had to go in person and close that case study. I had to get confirmation. God knew that. And glory be to God that the injuries that she inflicted were all minor, because Lord knows that her, as an aging narcissist, she did not have enough physical strength herself to do any more. But because in the spiritual, she was not allowed to break anything. That would have been too obvious. But I will tell you, okay? Hello, everybody. Welcome. All right, let's talk about this part of trauma healing. And it's why I can bring this to you. I've gotten to know the autonomic nervous system, my inner child, very well. So that's why the physical assault that the Jezebel case study put me through is a blessing in disguise in many ways. Because I now am fully aware of my autonomic nervous system and then my nervous system overall and how it's responding to things, how it's responding to this movement, how it's responding to that sound, how it's responding to, everything around me. Not walking on eggshells? No. But this is the one thing that we do not even think about on a daily basis because of all the radio frequency poisoning that's around us. And it is used to manipulate the autonomic nervous system, the ANS. All right? Because get that sucker traumatized, soon we follow. Right? When your ANS is living in fear, eventually we're going to. But see, not this time. Glory be to God. As he said, not this time. But that muscle tension awareness, I need y'all to pay attention. I talked about the jaw tension. Okay? I talked about the jaw tension, for the academy. Okay, I've got videos. Y'all, there's a playlist, Trauma Healing at CHA Academy, BTBW.com. There's a playlist right here on this YouTube channel. I want y'all to take a look at that. Because it's not just, I learned about muscle tension and the ANS through my trauma training with the Arizona Trauma Institute. So a brief synopsis, since somebody has asked what happened to me, the Jezebel case study basically spiked my drink and then dragged me down a set of carpeted stairs where I woke up in the hospital the next morning reading her story full of holes. And the first question I had was, where's my carpet burns? I had 0 carpet burns. I am a forensic consultant as well. I have a master's degree in forensic toxicology, a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Who the hell did she think she was messing with? Anyhow, and it isn't just that, but glory be to God, because God, God above all else. But there's a lot more that went on that she did, that God revealed to me, to my physical body. But see, remember, God tells us, do not fret about the physical. Make sure they cannot destroy your physical and your soul while in hell. Nobody get my soul. Jesus already saved my soul. Jesus saved your soul. So what happened, like I said, the lesson though, so many blessings in disguise, and here's this one. Muscle tension awareness, y'all. Pay attention to the jaw. Pay attention. We're high frequencies, High frequencies are meant, all right? Whenever you hear a high frequency, pay attention. Check on your jaw. Check. What are your jaw muscles doing? Because if your jaw muscles are tensing up with high frequency, that means your hands. That means your hands are tensed up. It may not feel like it. You may not notice it. But I want you to think about the nerves that are running all through these muscles, your forearms, all the way up to the back, right? All the way up your back. And then what's up here? All those muscles right here, right? Starts with the hands. So if you've got extreme muscle tension, hold because of that excess salt and then radio frequency, zap, 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 zap. Over time, that causes you to use your muscles incorrectly. Now, how do I know this? Oh, I don't know, because being a weight trainer on and off for many years, I know when my muscles are not being used properly. Your body tells you, it's called awareness. So I said, I don't know how long this one's going to be. I just got to get up here and give this to y'all because it's so important for trauma healing. It's that awareness that needs to be put out there, because anything that you're doing with your hand, right? If you pay attention to how you gripping stuff, pay attention to how you're gripping things, because if you are holding on to this pen, if you're gripping that pen so tight just to write something, not only, okay, me just doing that right there unnecessarily, what I'm doing is I'm using this muscle incorrectly. And what that did is it pulled the muscles over here on the sides, on my thigh, all the way down to my ankle. I felt it. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's how deep muscle tension goes. If you are gripping this pen, if your body has been traumatized and you are gripping this pen too tight, you're using this muscle incorrectly, and it goes all the way down to your ankle. And if you have bruising anywhere along the way, every single time you pick up that pen and you've got that tension there and you are squeezing it, you're holding it on with so much force unnecessarily, every single time you do that, you're basically giving yourself a zap without there being any frequency. And so that's going to prolong the bruising. You got to be mindful of that. Muscle tension. Now, how do you... Well, first of all, you got to start telling yourself to relax. Okay, first tip, tell yourself to relax. And stop gripping that pen like that. If you're preparing food, watch how you gripping the knife, right? Watch how you grip stuff. Okay, watch how you do not need that much force to pick up a pen and write something. And you'll notice your writing will get a lot neater too when you stop using too much force. This is muscle tension awareness for trauma healing. Tried and true is what I've discovered. I did not realize that I was doing that because of the physical assault. Not because, listen y'all, I have been healed psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually for many years now from the trauma. I had a Jezebel case study that physically assaulted me at the time of this live and replay, at the time of this recording, about 1.5 years ago. So I'm just now discovering how deep that muscle tension goes, and I'm bringing it to y'all. There's the blessing in disguise. Okay? Because she was trying to damage my nervous system. But as you can see, it ain't working because I'm bringing you all these trauma healing tips. Tell yourself to relax. Because, like I say often, once you become aware, then the intended negative effects of whatever else external can't be. Because you now internally got to tell yourself, hey, relax. You do not need to grip that pen so hard to write stuff with. You don't need to grip nothing that hard. Now, use your discernment. There's some things that might require a little bit. Even just picking up a bottle of water. You should not be using excessive force. Because when you use unnecessary force and excessive force on things, then you are incorrectly using muscle, which in turn will burn that muscle. If you burn that muscle and you don't know that you're burning that muscle, you can get tricked later on in life into thinking that you're getting weak and old and What a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Remember, you got a matrix out here that thrives on people being unhealthy and unaware of their traumatization. Okay? I'm going to tell y'all, the mentor that I have, she's now, at the time of this, she is now 67 years old and in great shape. She is a weight trainer, and she is so spot on. When she tells the boomers, she said, be the exception, not the norm. I said, bingo, right there. There's your inspiration, because we ain't got to, but we got to be aware of how our nervous system's responding. Now, how did I become aware that I was gripping things? Well, it was because I was getting ready to prepare something to eat, and I happened to just look over, and I was like, why am I gripping that knife like there's no tomorrow? Like, why am I doing that? Oh, gosh. So then, now I question everything. Even today, I discovered that I was using unnecessary force to put on my makeup. I said, stop it. There is no reason to use that kind of muscle to do that. I said, whoa. I didn't know I was doing that. Now we do. See, awareness, muscle tension awareness is key to trauma healing. Muscle tension awareness. I remember being asked a while ago during an interview, and they asked me, they said, well, what's one of the things that will tell you if a person is still traumatized? And the first thing out of my mouth was muscle tension. Now I'm getting to understand the physical side of it. Whereas before, I knew about it, but I wasn't aware of my autonomic nervous system yet. Now, becoming aware of the ANS and the nervous system and how it's responding to touch and everything. How we move. Oh, because it matters. Okay, muscle tension matters when it comes to trauma healing. So you got to check yourself. I've said before, you check them jaw muscles. Whenever you hear a high frequency of any whatever level, you know the difference between a high and low frequency, right? High frequency, low. Okay. Whenever you hear a high frequency, stop yourself and check them jaw muscles. Because you may not be aware of it. But if then you become aware of it. The more you become aware of it, then that high frequency will stop, causing you to subconsciously tense up your jaw muscle. It had to stop. You're aware of it now. Oh, I better quit doing that. There's no reason for it. But the devil and his narcissist out here using that radio frequency poisoning to keep people traumatized and living in fear, that's what it does. Then you'll hear the high-low frequencies mixed together. That is, after you get electrocuted with radio frequency, that high-low frequency is supposed to burn that area. It's supposed to lead to permanent damage is what it's supposed to do. But see, you got to become aware of it so that you can overcome the trauma. Because even the trauma from narcissistic abuse on the individual level will cause that. Okay? It will do the same thing. Jaw tension, extreme, deep muscle tension. All right, so the first tip I have for y'all was start telling yourself, relax. If you catch yourself gripping something like this right here, there's no reason to grip this with so much force. No reason whatsoever. But if you find yourself doing that or feeling that you have to pick it up with, no, you don't. Stop yourself. Relax. Tell yourself to relax. Then the next tip I have for you all, and it's available at most all of your like health food stores, Vitamin Shop, not so much GNC. I didn't see it in there. At least not the one I went to. I didn't see it there. But you can also find it online. Magnesium lotion or magnesium gel. If you realize that you've got extreme tension in your forearms, that'll help. Because that'll also help retrain your muscles as you go through the day. Yeah, okay. But be prepared, because that kind of muscle tension for a period of time been holding on to a lot of salt. Do not, because as your muscles start to relax, that salt's going to get back into circulation. That excess salt is going to give a burning sensation in the belly area. Ice pack. Do not get tricked into thinking that you're hungry. No, you're not. Do not get tricked into thinking that you got heartburn. No, you don't. Your body needs to process that excess salt. Ice pack. Or get yourself a popsicle. Preferably an all natural, no sugar added, no salt, okay? An all natural. The brand that I have found to be most preferred, okay, it is, I think it's Outshine, something like that. Anyway, but you got to cool your body off on the inside because that salt is getting out of which is what you want, because the excess salt from all that muscle tension, that's the muscle tension is holding on to all that excess salt. That excess salt is what's serving as a magnet for that radio frequency to prolong. Okay, so you got to understand muscle tension awareness. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. So, okay. The trauma bond and the attempt to turn chosen one's heart dark spiritual energy transfer. Well, that's a big way that they do it. Okay, that's a big way that they do it. And I know what you're talking about. The video that I released on this channel recently, where I talk about the trauma bond, and then also another one, the agenda of narcissists. A big one is they want to turn your heart bitter. They want to turn you into one of them. And so through the trauma bond, yeah, that's part of the process. So yeah, and so now your muscles and thank you, muscle tension awareness for trauma healing, because your muscles and your tendons are all connected to each other. So you think about just how deep, and it does, and that extreme tension will reduce circulation and oxygen getting, okay? And sweating is not the only way to get rid of excess salt. No, sweating is not the only way. So if you are finding it difficult to get yourself up to a good sweat, don't panic, okay? That's not the only way, okay? It's one day at a time, but reducing your salt intake a little bit, okay? That will help. And then getting the internal body temperature down. If you are not recovering from a bunch of bruising, okay? If you are not recovering from that kind of stuff, then it should be fairly simple, okay, for you to detox from the excess salt, okay? It should be. Now, again, it's not going to be comfortable. Detoxing, again, is not comfortable. I would be lying if I said otherwise. Because what's happening is you've got years of stored excess salt and then radio frequency poisoning that was just playing on that. So you have to keep that in mind and be ready and understand that what you're experiencing is normal. It's your body detoxing from excessive salt and radio frequency poisoning and traumatization. So trauma healing requires that muscle tension awareness. So you wanna pay attention. Because I would tell you, when God revealed that to me, I was like, man, if you've got extreme muscle tension going on, especially in the forearms and the hand area, think about it. When you go to sleep, okay, your body's going to relax naturally while you sleep. It should. And then, as soon as you get up, right, you start to stretch. The moment you get up and start moving, and these tense up, man, you get tricked into self-sabotaging. You're pretty much giving yourself a radio frequency zap. But without the radio frequency, because it's still got all that excess salt. So you're basically prolonging the holding on to excess salt. Because that way when you go to the store or you're exposed to more frequency than the body can adapt to, it's going to have a negative effect because of all the excess salt, which is what the devil wants. So you have to be aware of it. And I'm going to share with you all real quick. All right, I told you at the beginning I didn't know how long we were going to be on here, but I believe we're getting the message across because I get to share this with you all. This is not for the faint at heart. This is not for those who just want the easy route. This is not for those who want to run inside the matrix every single time. Give me a Band-Aid. It's not for toddlers in an adult body. This type of trauma healing is for those who are serious. Because I'm here to tell you, if you don't really know how tense those muscles are, then you conform to this world, and that's when the devil can destroy the body and soul in hell. Remember, God said that is what you want to watch out for. So whatever they try to do to the physical, we don't dwell on it. We are combating that radio frequency for healthier living in this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ in this ministry, Consulting for Heightened Awareness, CHA. But that's what God revealed to me. And so what happened was I went to one little place to pick up something, and I was aware of the frequency. I go to place number 2, aware of the frequencies, paying attention to my body's response. After becoming aware of the muscle tension here. And relax. Because remember, the more you tell yourself, it's repetition. It's like I read from my late grandpa's little pamphlet there, repetition in subconscious mind. Tell yourself, you got to start with telling yourself to relax. And then the number 2 tip was magnesium gel or magnesium lotion. Because I'm here to tell you, if you've got I'm going to get to something funny here in just a moment. Because last night, I cracked myself up over this. It was so crazy because the devil loves it, double whammies now. But I went to one place, the other place, I'm aware. Then I go to a third place to pick up some fruits and veggies. It's time to replenish my fruit and veggie tray. So I said, all right, yes, that is a must for healthier living. Yo, yo, yo. I'm not up here preaching and teaching healthier living and not doing it myself. I did, and I even grabbed myself a couple of pink grapefruits. Some bananas, some pineapple, broccoli, portobello mushrooms. I even got a little bag of sliced radishes. Ooh, radishes. Those are really great for potassium. Anyhow, so I noticed while I was at that store getting my fruits and veggies, I started to notice, because of the bruising that's still here, okay? Yeah, I'm fully aware of that. Okay, the bruising that's healing here, right, affecting the head, and then the muscle tension that I'm relaxing from now, okay? Hold on a second, that I'm aware of. I started to notice how that lightheadedness would start to kick in. I was like, I just had a protein shake. I am not hungry. I got lunch waiting on me in the room. When I get back home, I got lunch waiting on me already. So I'm resisting the devil, so he shall flee, because of all the smells and things like that. And I felt it. So I get in the car, it's about a delayed effect. I get back in the car and I went, okay, I see how that happened. It's slow and subtle, but if you aren't aware, then you would never know that's what's happening. And you can get tricked into thinking you're hungry when you're not. And so you go buy on impulse and stuff. And I said, okay. And I was actually changing my mind to go to the next place I wanted to go to after this. And God said, don't you do that. Remember the importance of sticking to the plan, because he's revealing things. These are the things he's revealing. And so then I'm sitting here and I have my jacket on because earlier it was cooler. And all of a sudden I felt a little bit of a tingle and then the sweats. And I said, aha! I said, gotcha. But see, we're not supposed to, if you're extremely tense muscle-wise and your physical body is traumatized like that and you don't notice that, right? So you got to be mindful of it. So becoming aware of it. When that's happening, I said, okay, gotcha. All right. And so I get back to the room. I get back home. And I'm unloading everything. And I get my veggie tray out. And I start getting it right. I had to revamp it. It was time to replenish and refresh. And so I'm working on it. And I'm noticing how long it takes for those symptoms to wear off. What did it? The frequencies inside the grocery store. The bleep, 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 bleep. LED lights. Right, slowly trying to induce that euphoria, if you will. A high from the excessive salt that we're still detoxing from. So, be mindful of that. And so, no, sweating. Okay, back to the getting rid of excess salt. Being active, reducing your salt intake, being mindful of how much frequency you are exposed to. especially during the detoxing. And then also, um, you know, let's see. Well, because the more you move, the more you facilitate your circulation. That's really a big one right there. But you want to get fluid. You want to stay hydrated, okay? Because it's your kidneys that process that excess salt primarily. Now, through your bowels and sweating and things like that. But also think about when you're able to blow your nose. That's another way. When your eyes water a little bit, that's another way. If you notice any phlegm, get it out. That's another way you get rid of that excess salt, because the excess salt is inside the mucus. Okay, so yeah, it's inside the mucus, and so you want to get rid of it. All right, and so that's just a few ways. And then think about when you wake up. If you wake up and you've got what we call crusty little eye thingy, that's a good thing, because that's another way your body's getting rid of excess salt. All these little ways, okay? But sweating can help, okay? Sweating definitely helps. But if you are not one in an environment or your circumstances don't allow for you to get a good sweat going, don't panic, okay? Don't panic. Your body will get rid of the excess salt in due time. Be patient with yourself. Okay, if we can't even rid the salt on the okay, and a one-day multivitamin. Yeah, a one-day multivitamin should be plenty. If you're eating healthy and more well-rounded, you're getting your animal protein, you're getting your fruits, you're getting your vegetables, and you're eating your portion, you're not overeating, then yeah, one multivitamin should suffice. Okay, that should be plenty. Plenty, plenty, plenty. Okay, the sweet tooth attack that you ignored. All right. Okay, there you go. That's how you resist the devil. Thank you for sharing, Chris. That's absolutely okay. Okay, vitamin with a well-rounded diet. You should be fine. Okay, being mindful, healthier choices. Okay, and the sweet tooth attack that you ignored. Awesome. But here's a tip for those who may be struggling with ignoring that sweet tooth. Get you some dried fruit. All natural dried fruit. Dried pineapple, dried mango, dried papaya. And it'll have some sugars. But read the ingredient. Make sure that it's, you'll probably see things like silicon dioxide. That's to keep it from sticking to each other. And then maybe there should be no added sugars. You want to really go for that. But if it's a couple of grams of added sugar, don't fret about that. But dried fruit. Dried figs are another great one. Because when you do the dried fruit, you will kill your sweet tooth. Okay, you'll get rid of the sweet tooth, but you'll also give yourself a little potassium with that fruit. Okay? So you want to think in terms of that as well. Okay, so dried cranberry will work with trail mix. There you go. That's actually a very healthy snack right there. Mind you, make it yourself so you don't get excess salt. I get the unsalted nuts and I make my own snack mix so that I'm not getting too much salt. All right, there you go. That's the tip for whoever needs that one. Now, here's something on the lighter side, because I know y'all will leave some stuff in the comments, share some additional insight, but muscle tension awareness. All right, when God was revealing it to me, and I was trying to think of ways, I was like, all right, well, how are we going to do this? Because massaging. Now, depending on where it is in your body, massaging. Well, here I am last night, and because we're discovering all of this, and I'm like, wow. And then I'm thinking about all the things you do with your hands, and I'm like, dang, self-sabotage galore here. All right, but anyhow, and so I'm like, how do we massage the forearms, right? Like when you're by yourself, right? How do you do that? When both forearms have muscles that are very tense. I mean, when I say tense, I'm talking tense all the way to the bone, okay? So how do you do that? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, okay. So I'm like, oh, man, that feels great. Right? I'm doing this arm over here. I'm like, oh, that feels great. But see, while we're doing that, what are we doing? Right, we're using the muscles over here. So then I'm like, okay, that worked great. And then I go, oh, all right, now for this side. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. Wait a second. Now we're just going to tense that back up. I said, there's got to be a better way. And that's where the magnesium lotion comes in. I said, all right. I said, there had to be a better way because I could sit there and do that all day long. But it's just like... Now, if you are able to go and find somebody who, if you trust them, okay, because the last thing you want, here's the final thought, okay, for muscle tension awareness, you all, for trauma healing, you don't want a deep tissue massage. No, and no, that's too much. When you have this kind of muscle tension going on, if you've got somebody that's a fellow chosen ones that you can trust, okay, make sure that you can trust that can help you maybe massage those areas. If you've got somebody, okay, make sure you can trust them and tell them be light, be gentle, okay, it don't take much. Because the last thing you want to do is to be digging in. No. Because you don't know, again, if it's been tense for any length of time, because of traumatization, you don't know what's going on maybe underneath. So if you are by yourself and you don't want to keep double whammying, okay, then get you some magnesium lotion a couple times a day or as needed, okay, you'll know. And be mindful, okay? It don't take much. Let me tell y'all something. You get that magnesium lotion or magnesium gel, it don't take much. Especially if that is your trouble area, it does not take much. And if you'll notice, the skin it'll soak it right up. That lets you know something right there. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there you go. I just wanted to share that because it was really funny last night when I was trying to think of ways. So I was like, hold up a minute. Like, that's just not going to work. I mean, it felt great until I was like, oh, never mind. And then I don't know about a hot bath because with all that muscle tension, your body's internal heat's going to be hot enough as it is. So I'm thinking a cool bath, maybe. Okay, or ice packing a little even to just for a few minutes. If you're going to ice pack, you do not have to do it for very long, just a few minutes. Okay, there's another tip. All right. So, that all the way, the tension all the way to the bone. Okay, that's a figure of speech. But you get what I mean? It was that deep, okay? It not technically all the way to the bone, but that just lets you know, okay? But yeah, you want to cool it down because you might be feeling the cool air outside on the external, but you got to think about all that muscle tension with holding that salt on the inside. That means the internal temperature right there. Because when I realized that, I was like, ooh, and I put my hand over there, I could feel the heat. I felt the heat, and I said, ooh, that ain't good. Let me tell y'all, pay attention to that. It don't matter what the external temperature is outside. You got to pay. That's why I tell y'all, in your own environment, you got to keep that external temperature as consistent as possible. Okay, you got to do that so that you'll notice these things. All right, everybody. There's your muscle tension awareness for trauma healing message today. Thank you all for coming, and thank you to all who will catch us on the replay. And I'm telling you, God revelation, man, glory be to God. All right, everybody, so keep on keeping on. Take care of you, okay? That's a big thing. Give yourself the time and space to take care of you. Don't let anybody out here try to tell you being selfish. No, you're healing. Take care of you. That's important. God reminding me to remind you all that you got to take care of you. Let him guide your steps. That's right. Let him guide your steps. All right. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. That's right. That's right. Amen. Take care of you. Right. Love and light To all fellow warriors, thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father. And you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.